I know I can outwork anybody, because there was a phase in my life I did 57 months of not a single day off, of every single day 10 to 19 hours.
This week we are privileged to introduce the CEO and founder of the Emirati Business of the Year, Mr. Ahmed Ben Chaiba. Ahmed is a serial entrepreneur having achieved success across multiple industries, so it comes as no surprise that he has been awarded numerous accolades, including both the Entrepreneur and CEO of the Year award, and even a Guinness World Record holder for his creation, the iconic Aquafun Waterpark in Dubai.
I think the genius thing that I did in my life, I never quit. Like, I hit a hardcore wall. I was facing very, very big legal cases. I lost everything financially. Everybody was against it. Everybody's like, hey, leave this, get a job. Why are you doing this to yourself? You gotta go to jail. I'm a man driven by purpose. How do we create an empire? And this empire have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's always ridiculous goals, and it's always number oriented. I'm 41 years old now. I feel that I just finished stretching and I'm gonna warm up now. Like, I thought I knew what I was doing when I was 30. Nothing compared to what I know now.
If somebody offered you to buy everything, every business you own, and have a complete cash exit, what would that number be? For the people that don't know you, how would you give a very quick summary on yourself, your career, and how you got to this point in your life?
I think the genius thing that I did in my life, I never quit. That's about it. No matter how crazy it was, no matter how everybody was against you.
No, I've seen the famous thing about you that I forgot the exact number, but over 600 and something.
17.
617 times.
Exactly.
Failure, rejection, didn't go your way.
First year.
Oh, in 1 year.
That's first year.
Okay.
So basically every single day, at least twice.
My gosh.
Yeah, that was not fun.
And how long ago was this?
11 years, a decade.
Oh, not too long ago, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I came across a study, and they said that amongst hyper successful individuals, people that are big CEOs or big business owners, they have 3 traits in common. Number 1 is that they have a crippling sense of insufficiency. They feel like they're never good enough. They always need to do more. They need to, impress more. Number 2 is that they have maniacal focus and impulse control. Distractions, they make sacrifices, no problem. They're on their mission. And the last one is that they have a superiority complex, that they feel like they deserve more, they are more hardworking, they are better than the average person. These are the 3 traits of hyper-successful individuals. Would you say any of these embody yourself?
I'm super dyslexic and ADHD. So hyper level of focus when I'm focused. So something interesting, or my 2 hours output is what people do in 10 days. I think also the conversation and the sound inside my head is not the self-doubt and self-hate. Is like always the biggest hype man inside of me, for me. So I never doubt myself, I never hate myself or those emotions. So for me, it's always weird to try to be empathetic to people who are like, feeling that feeling, because I don't understand it, so I can't relate to it. And then I think, like, I know I can outwork anybody, because I know that for a fact. Because there was a phase in my life I did 57 months of not a single day off, of every single day 10 to 19 hours. So, and this is why people ask me, why don't you do your own podcast? It's like, it's not about that. It's like, I cannot find somebody who I'm interested in enough or I respect enough, and I know they outworked me. So until there is a bunch of those guys, and they're very good inspiration and friends of mine, but otherwise I don't feel interest, because I don't know you haven't outworked me.
Where does this drive to outwork anybody else, where does that come from? Or what is it that you're chasing or trying to achieve that drives you every day?
Yeah, I don't think I'm chasing things. I think it's just basically I like to always outdo myself. It's like I'm always like me and me. Okay, how do I move the needle 1 step, 1%? That's for me. It's like that's the interesting part. Like, how do I outdo me? How fast can I double me?
Okay.
Like, how fast? Because I don't want to look at this like 7 years from now. It's like, I wish I pushed harder 5 years ago. No. Let's push hard now.
So it's in service to your future self, that you don't want to look back and regret that you didn't do enough today.
Yeah, because regret is what terrifies me. And regret comes only from things you didn't do. Because if you do something, if it's wonderful, amazing. If it's bad, you learn. But you only regret things you didn't do. So for me, whatever I think, I say, whatever I want to do, I want to do. I'd rather know than never know, in a way.
They say that people that have regrets is because they're not happy with their present self. Do you have any regrets?
No. Because it comes from very important thing, acceptance. It's just accepting what happened, being accountable as a man, as a person. Okay, I fucked up here. This is how I screwed up. I'm not going to play the victim part. Oh, poor me. Nobody cares. So I'm always accountable about where I did wrong, where I messed up, and then I accept what happened. It happened for a reason. I wasn't ready. I didn't have the right tools, and then all these different ideas. So accepting what happened is one thing, and then I don't have this anxiety, because it's not, anxiety is like you not accepting what's going to happen. It's like you leave your body and you're wandering in somewhere in the future that doesn't even exist. So I always say that, breathe, just come back to your body, come back to yourself, and just it's the present, the gift is now. Enjoy now, be in the moment, and always zoom out. It's like when you zoom out, because you always be so intense in that moment emotionally that you do not see anything else. Just zoom out, see what's happening. What's God trying to show you? What are you missing out? What's the leverage from this? What are you trying to be taught? What's the redirection you need to go in through that you're not doing already? So that's very important to be that aware.
In your early stages of your career, you mentioned that you're always trying to only outwork yourself, comparing to others. So in your earlier years, from that point in your life when you were getting rejected time and time again, what was it that changed to eventually you did get, you made the progress that you were striving for?
I think I hit a hardcore wall. There was a wall that I hit that was so hard. I was facing very, very big legal cases. I lost everything financially. Everybody was against it. Everybody's like, hey, leave this, get a job. Why are you doing this to yourself? You're going to go to jail. And it's like, when the world is so heavy, you fall down on your knees. When you're down on your knees, it's a perfect position for you to pray. So I gave it to Allah. And when I did that, khalas, the belief was, I heard it. So I knew what was going to happen to me. I was done. So it became so much peace, because now I know it's going to come to me. I saw it, I heard it, and since then I became in so much peace, because I know it's going to happen. What's meant for me is going to come to me. And every no I get is just aware of God telling me, it's not this one, it's this one. It's just redirection through things.
You mentioned your framework of your beliefs is radical acceptance. You take self-accountability for everything in your current circumstance. And I think that is a very liberating feeling, because then you're not blaming others, blaming external factors. And one thing is that, you have to blame everything in your past. If you didn't achieve anything you didn't want to achieve, it's your fault. But it's also a very freeing feeling, because you know that your future is completely in your control, because you accept everything. Is this feeling of radical acceptance tied to your faith and your religion?
Yeah.
That everything is written for you already?
Yeah, again, it's written for you, but again, you need to do the work. You cannot just sit down thinking, God, give me 10 million. It's not going to work that way. You need to do the work, because when the work happens, then God blesses you. It's not just, there's conditions towards this. You can't just I wish I have six pack. That doesn't work. You need to work out, diet, sleep, do the cardio for it to happen. There's conditions and rules through everything in life. You can't just sit down and break them all and wonder why the universe or life is bad. Because be accountable. You're the one who's messing up, man.
Do you think your strongest trait and the biggest determining factor to your success is this accountability, or would you say there's other traits that are...
Disciplines. Discipline, it is by far the number one factor. Because disciplines will get you through things. Even you don't care, you don't want to go there, you're feeling tired, it need to be done. It's not an emotion. I think I need to go and do this. It's that level of okay, because I think it comes back from previous in my life when I was just very competitive as an athlete. So I knew exactly what it takes to be that disciplined.
What were you an athlete in?
I used to be, I won 69, funny I hear it now, 69 gold medals. I used to be UAE champion in weightlifting for 9 years, university champion 5 years in weightlifting.
Like a powerlifting?
Yeah, powerlifting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
that, triathlons, rugby, football, basketball, squash. So I was
a bit of everything.
Full on, yeah.
So you're doing competing in deadlifts, squats, and bench?
Yes.
How heavy were your lifts?
That time I used to weigh 68 kilos.
Oh, super light. Okay.
I was my deadlift was 185, my squat was 170, and my punch press was 150.
Your deadlift was triple your body weight almost.
Yes. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And I remember the first year I was competing, everybody was joking at me, who's a skinny boy? And it's I won the gold medal. It's okay. And then second year, third year, fourth year, and just continue going from there.
Okay.
I was just, this year, how do I overdo my numbers?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Is this athletic, competitive side something that you were competing in a sport and then transitioned to business, or is this still within you now?
No, it's always been there.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's always about performance. Like because to me, it's a numbers game. It's like when I used to work before as an employee, as a slave, like, okay, that's when I never could hold a job more than a year and a half. I could never have a job for much longer than that. Because, like, let's say my KPI was like a 300 sales for the year. I would do that in the first quarter. And then I want to be promoted. They say, no, you can't because system is this, but I did more. It's like, no, okay, next job. Next job comes in, they pay me double the money, I do the job, and same situation happen. I overperform too fast, too early, and I do not do politics. Very direct, very direct. I cannot sugarcoat things.
Do you have, in that sense, any business partners then?
No.
Do you believe in them, or is just you don't think you'd be?
I had that mistake before. I learned from it. You know, again, what's the value of a partner? You know, if they're not the yin and yang for you, why? Just money is a stupid reason. You know, because you don't want to be because you don't want to be pushing the crate up the hill alone. Either they are doing in the same purpose, same vision, or not.
Okay.
And that's very important.
Do you feel it's because, number one, you're very direct and maybe some people are too sensitive to honesty? Or do you think it's more because
I'm very aggressive in business.
You're sorry?
I'm very aggressive in business.
Okay.
So I'm very, it's not ambitious, but like I set.
You think no one can match your work rate
to
be a partner?
Yeah, exactly. That because I had partners now. Like now, when I look at my different businesses that I have different partners. But then, like I came in because like the value that I provide financially, and you know the knowledge and the wisdom and the connections that I have now.
Sure.
That's really it. But like me running their own business, no, that's just me. I have a very powerful team under me, but otherwise partners, no.
You know, mashallah, you've reached a stage in your career where you could theoretically stop everything. I'm sure your business are at a stage where they're running on autopilot.
Yes.
And you could take a step away and relax.
Why do that? Sad. You rest, you rust. I said, that's my motto. If you rest, you rust. So why I'm 41 years old now. I feel that I just finished stretching and I'm going to warm up now. Like I thought I knew what I was doing when I was 30. Nothing compared to what I know now.
What kind of goals do you have for the coming years?
Not years. My goals, my goal orientation is 6 to maybe 16, 18 months. That's it. Nothing longer than that.
How come you don't have like a 5-year plan or beyond?
That's there. That's the vision or whatever it is. But like realistically, you cannot have a much structured goal because there's so many variables changed. You know, when COVID happened, we can't plan that. When this happened, you can't plan these things. So half a year to a year and a half, that's the maximum you can do. Because there's so many inputs happening through that time that you need to change with them. You got to pivot. You got to have new things come into you. You got new ideas and new opportunities come in. You don't want to be just stuck to that one, written in stone idea.
I've seen a lot of people talk about goals and setting goals. And some people say that, have a well-rounded view. Have goals for your relationships, your family, your social life, your health, your wealth, your businesses. Have goals for everything.
Yes.
Whereas I've also seen the opposing view, which is the reality is you cannot be always this well-rounded and balanced, because if you want to really excel in one area, you do have to sacrifice other areas.
Yeah.
In your experience, where you mentioned, you took 57 months of just sacrifice and intensity, you didn't take a day off. Do you think this notion of being well-rounded and balanced is reality, or do you have to have this periods of short-term sacrifice where you focus on just one objective?
There is balance and imbalance. As in, you cannot just be this and this. Sometimes, yes, you have to, you gotta be, show by example. And it's either spend time doing this or show them by example, hey, how hard you're working towards a better future for everybody. So it's a very hard choice to take. Okay, am I just doing this or that? Now I'm trying to do as much as possible balance between, okay, here's time for family, here's time for this, here's time for that. But ultimately, it's I'm a man driven by purpose. And the purpose is, how do we create an empire? And this empire have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's always ridiculous goals, and it's always number oriented. And that's fun, because for me, the goals have to, in a way, terrifies me for it to excite me. So I need to have a certain goals that, okay, for me to be this person, to reach this goal, I have to morph into a new human being. Mentally, emotionally, and financially. And that's a very scary thing. But it's fun. for me, I enjoy that.
You know, they say there's certain games you play to finish. You want to get to the finish line, like completing a race. You have a goal and that's the destination. There's other things in life which are not the end goal, but rather the fact that you get to continue to play. For example, you don't win at marriage. You get to be married. You don't complete the gym. You get to be healthy. When it comes to business, is that how you frame it? Because you don't really have a goal of, I want to one day reach this and retire. You want to keep playing the sport.
Oh, of course.
So what is it that you really enjoy about? Because there's hard days, there's things where you take losses.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There's all the struggles and the stresses and anxieties. So with that all aside, what is it that keeps you pushing yourself to your limits?
It's the process. I enjoy the process. I enjoy, okay, here's a new crazy idea. Let's see how fast we can do this one. Let's see what we need to get for us to do this crazy idea. Let's see the obstacles and the hurdles and the people we need to meet to reach this idea. And then let's go and do this idea. And then, like, okay, I am in the middle of that thing that was an idea in my head. Now people are creating new happy memories because of that idea that I had in my head. So, like, for example, my house, I could see my water park. And then and the fact that, there's hundreds of people every single day jumping and doing this, all of these people are creating new happy memories because of me and that crazy idea that I had in my head that I want to do this in the water.
Do you think it's important when you're choosing a business or a venture that it has to be orientated around what kind of impact it has on your end user customer? Or is it more just business is business and you're trying to grow an empire?
Both. It shouldn't be one. You know, if you say it's only about this, I'm going to be lying. Okay. So it's both. Like, okay, I'm in the business of creating happy memories. Okay, so that's the big title of the page. Okay, how you do that? Okay, so we do the water parks, we do this, we do the sunbeds, we do the F&B, we do the ice cream, we do the popcorn, all these like small things add into it becomes money. But ultimately we don't want to work just for the joy of it. Yeah, it's good to do something that you enjoy and you're passionate about and you're making money from.
I think that's quite a rare example because most people, you either pick business or you pick your passion, but usually people's passions are, let's say, art or music, and it's not easy to excel in those areas.
No.
So people that are super wealthy, they have boring businesses like waste management or electricity or something.
100%,
You found a cool hybrid where you're in the business of selling smiles, essentially.
Exactly, because that was a very interesting way of doing it. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so I love boring businesses. They're the best. You know, because it's simple autopilot, it's a service you provide and it's done. This is also, in a way, it's such an obvious thing that people's like, what do you mean you're just doing that? It's like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And when you see the numbers, it's like, what? It's like, yeah. Then you multiply that in different locations and it's okay, watch the numbers. So again, it's just a matter of like, finding a niche, which is very hard nowadays, and then become the dominator of that niche. You know, but again, that was just one of the stories. There's more of them. You know?
What industries are you in? Do you have your hands in?
So water parks, beach clubs, that's the main one. Tech, different tech. So from
maybe SaaS or
platforms, e-commerce, multiple e-commerces, NFTs, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, crypto, AI, a lot of AI, AR, real estate, gold, export, silver. What else we're doing? And investments.
You know, when you're in so many different industries, and just one of the industries you listed could be someone's full-time career, because you have to have a wealth of knowledge to really excel in just one of those industries.
Absolutely.
Are you more on the side of, I need to learn everything before I get into the industry, or you're more on the side of, let me hire the talent and you'll do the management and architecture of the business?
Good. So there was two schools of thoughts: be an expert on one thing or know a lot about small things. I'm the second. So I know a lot about a lot of things. So I know for small things, I know so much about them. So I can pick up a conversation with anybody, anywhere, anytime. But I'm a firm believer, it's all about emotional intelligence, finding the right people for the right job, because I'd rather have an expert in that field. Come over here. I notice what you have. I appreciate you. Come in this business, incentivize them, and let them run it for you. You know. So now they're growing and we're growing. I don't have to sit down and figure out everything. I can't do that. That's impossible.
Yeah.
Like my job is to find the right people for the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that sense, why did you even decide to pick these separate industries when you could have a vertical integration in just the water, beachfront kind of businesses?
Yeah.
Why venture into different industries that are unrelated?
diversification is very important because again, I cannot keep the money in the bank. There's something called inflation. You lose 10-15% of the value of money. So how do I beat my inflation somewhere else? So okay, fine. Okay, first we start with real estate and properties. Okay, that was awesome if you do the right things. Okay, then we start doing jewelry, like gold and silver as a commodity. Okay, but then that's just still slow. I want to figure out ways, how do I do 1,000%? How do I do 40,000%? How we do that? So that's how we figure that out.
When you have a new idea or a new business, like the Aqua Fund that you did, naturally competitors will come because they see an opportunity, they see potentially your numbers, and they're like, okay, I need to do the same.
Yes.
When competitors do come, or you're entering an industry where there's already a market share that you're trying to grab,
yes.
What are your trade secrets or tricks or attributes that you do to have a competitive edge?
I think 5 years ago, that happened. There was somebody who went and copied exactly everything, even the logo, even the name.
Gosh.
A to Z, nothing, like no shame. And then I went to file a case, and then they said, you cannot do that because you don't own this. The brand's like, I created this brand. No. So I went in a worldwide exercise of trademarking my brand.
Okay.
So I trademarked it in 90 countries. And then 3 other people came in and copied exactly what I'm doing. Exactly the same thing. And what I did was different. So I've called all 3 of them. And I said, hey, like some of them, the one with the logo, that was cease and desist. But the other people who copied the thing but differently, I've called them once like, hey, I heard you did this. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. If you need any help in this, I'm here for you.
Okay.
So I threw them off with, hey, let's give you love first. So if you need any help in promoting, we can co-promote. We can, if you need help in maintenance, whatever. All of them gave me, no, thank you. We're okay. Sure. 6 months later, both of them called me up. Hey, we're closing the company. It's like, what happened? It just didn't work out and so on and so on. So I came in and I bought their whole assets for 10% of the value. Because there's nobody else in the market going to buy it. But there was like a whole but what I did, they called me, both in the same week. And I remember exact numbers. So first one spent $670,000 for his project. As soon as he told me he wanted to sell, I said, send me a picture. Send me a picture of the Waterpark. Okay, nice. We see it. I called my friend in Saudi Arabia. We run the biggest general entertainment authority. So I found him there. I was like, hey, he's one of the main suppliers for them. Are you doing anything soon? And so on and so on. Yeah, we're doing something next 3 weeks with water. We want to do an activation in the water. It's like, check it, what's up? It's like, oh my God, we're looking for the same exact thing. Cool. Bro, you work there. Let's incentivize this. Incentive. It's like, find out how much is the budget. Let's both make money. Cool. Something like this. Maybe it was a 4-day event. I might rent it out for like 9,000 dirhams. That's it. It was like $20,000 almost. And then it's like, find out how much it's gonna be. A week later, Ahmed put 980,000 dirhams, almost $1 million dirhams, which is around like $300,000 almost, $350,000. You're crazy. It's like, yeah, just do that. I put that in. Payment was half as down payment. I got the money. Okay, now we have $150,000 almost. I called the guy who was sending it to me. It's like, okay, listen, I'm gonna offer you in dollars $24,000. It's like, but I paid $670. Bro, nobody's gonna buy it from me. You want? I have it cash on me right now. We can go right now. What? Cash now? Yes. Okay, send you trucks. I took it for 9,000 dirhams, and I've rented it for $1 million. And then I've rented it in Dubai for another $250,000, and then I've sold it to his friend for $250,000.
So this opportunity that you just described, which worked out in your favor, your intention in the beginning was not that. Your intention was, let me extend my arm and give them help. Was that sincere, or was that a curveball to throw them off?
No, sincere.
Okay.
Sincere.
And why do you take that approach with your competitors?
Again, why would I come in and throw negative energy? You always win with love. Always. You always win with love. You always give them a bridge. They take it, good. Because again, don't burn a bridge, then ask for a boat. That's people doing it. They always burn bridges everywhere, and then, they're stuck. Hey, send me a boat. It's like, why do that? It's okay. Here's a bridge. I'm building that. Keep it there for you. You want it, you can cross it. You don't want it, it's fine. You want to burn it? Fine, burn it. But don't come to me alone.
You mentioned that you don't like working with partners. Is Aquafun because you mentioned 19 countries you have the IP and trademarks.
90.
90?
Yeah,
oh
90.
gosh. Okay, so in that case, have you thought about doing a franchising model where people open it up and you just take a royalty, or
Yeah.
do you want your
I do
control?
both.
Okay.
So I have 34 locations around the world now. So they are mixtures. There's joint ventures, there's revenue share, there is a profit share, there is a franchise. So it's multiple ways. I don't stick to one way only. I see what's the best formula, and we do from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think makes a very effective leader, which you are?
I think being emotionally intelligent, treat people as humans, not just things. Like the biggest asset in my business is my human capital. Like for me, like this saying that people say the customer is always right, I think is pure bullshit. I think some customers are crazy and they need to put down. Like there was one situation, I remember this very, very well. We had a location in Abu Dhabi. We had a very big, massive water park on the beach. So we had stuff on the sand and stuff on the water. And then usually people before they go in, they want to see the place. So they tour them around, show them all the games and explain to them, and then they pay. This guy comes in and starts screaming at the girls on the door. You are rip-off, you are con artists, you are thieves. It's like, what's going on? They call me in the walkie-talkie, Ahmed, can you please come to the door? It's like, okay, I come to the door. What's happening? It's like, you guys cheated me. It's like, I don't want my son to walk in sand. It's like, you walked in, it's a beach. What do you expect? No, my son doesn't walk in the sand. It's like, fine. But did you play any games? Like, yeah, okay, fine. So did the guys show you around? It's like, yeah. Guys, you show them? Yeah, okay, fine. So they did nothing wrong. And there's a big sign that says, no refund. Yeah, but that is like, listen, you want your money back, you got to apologize to the staff. What? Apologize to the girls. I'm sorry. It's like, guys, are you happy with the apology? Yes, sir. Okay, how many games he played? He played 2 games. Deduct that, give me the money back. Now my staff knows that I got their back. And that's it. Because for me, I'm not going to lose my staff. I'm not going to shit on my staff emotions and their hard work because of 100 dirhams.
That's right.
Not doing that. And this customer can go and come. But these guys are with me every single day. So for me, that was the mentality. You know, I'm not gonna if you come to me with respect, I will give it to you. If you come to me with attitude, hey, go sue me. Yeah, I don't complain. To who? I'm the owner. Full stop.
I imagine, I mean, you don't have to correct me if I'm wrong, but all of the companies are in maybe a holding company. So you are the owner and founder of all of them, but are you still the active CEO of all of these?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you choose to still remain active CEO instead of hiring?
No, but see, I
people?
have like under me very amazing guys and girls. Like my top, because I have like 6 directors, 5 of them are females.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like most of my top layer.
By design or just
by
that's
design.
the talent that came? Okay.
By design.
Why is that?
Women are the best when it comes to business. They take things very personal. They're hardworking. They're focused. They take their emotional intelligence. They can maneuver things differently than men.
Very interesting.
Yeah. It's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather have women in these higher level positions than men?
It's just my preference. That's it. The individuals that came into my life, they were all women, and they were the right people for the right job. My business advisor, the one I don't do anything with that, is a female.
Very interesting. Okay.
Like I have 4 lawyers. My main lawyer is a female.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah,
That's
but that's the whole thing. Because this is the way I do things. They see things I don't see, and it's a superpower.
If you were to start a new business in any industry in 2023, which industry and business would you pick and why?
It doesn't matter, because any business will make money if you know what you're doing. I can be broke today and give me 4-6 months, I'll be a millionaire again. Because now you know the system, you know the procedure, you know what it takes to multiply things. You know how to create funnels and how to multiply these numbers.
In that case, if you had a young mentor, somebody who's under you, mentee, sorry.
Yeah.
And he's looking to replicate your career path, he wants to be successful like you, what was the first piece of advice that you would give him? Well,
first we go in a self-awareness exploration. As in, let's see what are you great at, what are you bad at, and what you're average at. The stuff that you're bad at, put that down. The stuff that you're great at, good. And then we go in and we do another thing. So, okay, let's see what are your top 10 ideas. And then we're going to see from that top 10 ideas, only top 3. And those top 3, we're going to break them down, numbers, and see which ones have the best ROI. And that's the best ROI, that's the one we're going to focus on. Because again, you need to be doing something that you actually know something about. You're knowledgeable about it, whatever it is. But definitely, I would say one of the easiest things that any young man can learn right now is just trading, man. Trading, Forex, crypto, stock market. That's where the money is now, I don't know what I'm doing. Learn. There's YouTube, is Google. Yep. Stop being lazy. That's what you gotta do. This is the simplest thing, You can do it. You can do the demo one, just trade with no money. See how you're doing. Then put in $100.
Yep.
Sell the $100.
When I look for an opportunity for myself, I always look for disproportionate leverage. For example, I think it's a very low level of output if you're always exchanging your time for money, because your output is exactly the same to your input. And what is the growth there?
Yes.
So something that can have a disproportionate output. So as you put more and more effort in, your results are not matched. They're increasing. And I think trading is definitely one of them, because you start off with, let's say, $1,000 account, but if you keep performing, that 1,000 will become 10,000, 100,000, and your percentage per trade, that 5% profit, is growing. For the same trades that you're taking.
Exactly.
Another thing is, I think in this day and age, is a personal brand, and I see this is something you're interested in too, because that is only going to grow and grow, and then you don't have to spend on marketing. People will relate to you, resonate with you. You build your audience. That's another thing that I think is disproportionate leverage. Do you consider certain things like that in your career as well?
Yeah, because I was a ghost for almost 11 years. I only opened my social media literally a year and a half ago.
And you blew up.
But it only came in because I think it's the undeniable authenticity. Like I am who I am. I'm not gonna filter. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I just share exactly who I am, my failures, my fears, my successes, and how I did things. And I'm open about these things because I can give you right now, step by step, as I've been trading, which one to do, how to do it, when to do it, and how much you put on it, and you won't do it. So I'd rather give you the full value, because I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying a course or a program or none of these things. I'm just doing it because I can do it. And for me, the return on investment is like those private DMs that I get from people who tell me, hey, like I quit my job, I did that, and I took my mom to Umrah. Or like somebody comes, hey, like, taps me on my shoulder, hey, you Ahmed, you said this in this video, and that blew my mind and changed me who I am. Because changing you means I'm changing a whole generation. And that's powerful,
When it comes to this day and age, I'm sure you have a lot of skills. Do you think if you could acquire one skill instantly, what would be the skill that you would choose?
Sales. You need to be good in sales. Sales is the number one most important skill to acquire.
What does sales mean to you? Because I feel everybody has a slightly different definition.
So interesting. So my method of sales is not just, I want to close a deal. That's just not the one. Most people go when they go for networking events, they go fishing. Don't do that. Go gardening. So just throw seeds and let it grow in people. Because you do business with people that you like. So be a person that is likable. And being somebody who's likable means that you have to come from a genuine place. Don't be fake. So you gotta relate. So you gotta actually take your time with the person and garden and water it and move the weeds and so on and so on. If you go fishing, people can always sense that desperation. So don't do that. People will do business with you, because I don't do business with anybody unless if I like you. I don't care how much the bag is big. I don't like you. I don't do business with you.
Was that the intention behind, only recently starting your social media, being authentically yourself?
Yes.
Is to plant those seeds out, but
Yes.
seeds on a bigger scale?
Yes.
Okay.
I get people, hey, can you mentor me? I don't have time. I honestly do not have time. My day is structured in a very intense way. There is no wiggles. So that's why I try to touch more people with doing this 1 hour, 2 hour, podcast. Hopefully a 30-second, message goes out and resonates with somebody, and okay, that changes them for somebody better.
You came onto social media not too long ago, and you've definitely had a huge impact.
Yes.
Has that also reflected in your businesses, or it's been in the same?
Yes and no. For me, it's interesting, because now when people look me up and they see certain things I say, either they can relate to it or agree with it.
You polarize.
Exactly. So okay, hey, you said this thing, I like that, and now they feel that they know me, and that makes things easier. It's like a nice, good icebreaker. And again, I think it's very important people to be seen and heard. So when I say certain things in certain ways, people feel seen and heard. And then they think, okay, I'm not alone in this thing. So that's why I don't like to talk about materialistic things and I got this. That's irrelevant.
You know, one day when you die, and may God give you a long, healthy life, but one day when you do, if all of your content, your YouTube videos, the podcast, everything was deleted, what would you want your final lasting message to be for younger generations?
Because for me, social media for me is not even 0.05% of what I do in my life. It's because again, it's a very important thing. I think that's all about what I do in the back. It's the philanthropy and the charity that I do. So I do a lot of that in the background.
Okay.
A lot of it. It's very structured. It's every month. It's very intense. It's very worldwide. It's like, and for me, I think it's orphans, education, water, and housing. I do a lot of that.
You're doing your philanthropy.
Yeah.
Which countries have you chosen?
I have now 6 countries.
MashaAllah.
6 countries.
Have you ever done anything yourself with your
All the time.
hands? Yeah.
All the time.
And why do you continue to put your time and energy and effort into?
It's called business with God.
Okay.
That's it. It's business with God. You know, you want because ultimately it's that afterlife. You know, this is just warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's business with God. So we're more do that because again, I did an exercise this year, craziest thing ever. So we know usually Feb till April or beginning of May is when we make all our money. Business in Dubai.
From tourism.
Yeah, in
yes.
Dubai. Yeah. That's the peak season. So usually every year we put so much money on ads, a lot of money. Google ads, Facebook, all the social media, all the stuff. This year I did 0. Absolute 0.
Okay.
But I was so focused in doing proper charity, like full on.
Okay.
Like paying debts for people that don't know, orphans, water, houses, all these things you think of. I remember April, I wasn't even looking at numbers. I was like, I'm not going to look at numbers till April. In April, I opened the spreadsheet and bro, it was minimum 40 to 120% increase.
Wow.
Then what's
Business
that?
with God.
That's it. And we weren't even doing anything. We weren't posting any crazy videos. We weren't doing anything out of ordinary. Simple, basic stuff. Just worked. So that made me Outworking. That's how it works. It blesses everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned that there's certain periods that are very lucrative for you, and then I guess now when it's a bit too hot, in Dubai at least, it's the off period.
Yes.
What do you do with your time in this transitionary period where it's the hot months?
So, for example, the water parks, the assets are movable. So we can move them around the world with the weather. So that's one thing we do. So we do not suffer from that situation. We still have locations open in the heat, but we move things north. And then in the winter, when north is too cold, we come back to where it's nicer here. So that's one thing. Plus, again, we do a lot of different things. That's why being diverse. So you have different pipelines happening to you all the time.
Do you consider yourself someone that has a very stressful life?
People who shadowed me, they say they don't understand how I do it. They don't understand how I do this. But I think I'm a very high capacity. That's number one. Number two, I try not to, I don't react to things anymore. So when things happen, I check myself. I don't react to them anymore emotionally. I see, oh my God, 3 years ago, when this happened to me, I would be this crazy. But now it happens, it's just I don't even care about it anymore. Because I know what's going to happen.
Is there certain things you do to manage your stress because of your high tolerance?
I think the luxury that I have in my life is I found my peace. So before pressure and this, that was my fuel. Now I don't need it anymore. So certain things I know how to discharge. I know how to be centered. I know how to not indulge in that thought process at all anymore. And that took a lot of maturity emotionally. It wasn't easy. But I think because you failed, because I put myself, because I had this interesting way of looking at it. I fell in love with failing.
Okay.
So failure for me, it stopped becoming a scary thing or becoming, it's a bad thing. No, it's awesome. Because now we know that this doesn't work out. Okay, now we know. Let's find another way around it. So I know which ways works, which ways doesn't work now.
So you became someone that basically embraces the problems.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You attack them head on.
Exactly.
What do you do when there's a situation where you feel like it's just you don't have the knowledge, it's not something you can handle? How do you manage those situations?
Ask
Which I'm sure
questions.
is quite often.
Ask questions. Again, this is why I have a team. I always ask questions. I never assume things. When something happened that is new, I don't know, no reaction. Let's gather data. Understand the data. What happened, why it happened, how it happened. Ask people who are more knowledgeable than me, throw back ideas back and forth, understand this, and then react to it. So if something big happened, I won't. If certain things I can react to immediately, but certain things, okay, let's understand this first. You can't just react emotionally for things. No. Sometimes I get contracts. There were sometimes contracts that I've negotiated over 6 months.
Oof.
Yes, with governments. There's nothing that pushes you to do something when you're not ready. Legally wise talking. Because you never be certain things, always do it. Like even do it when you're scared. That's more fun that way. I'm scared. Yeah, fine. Do it then. Because that's basically universe saying you go and do it.
What scares you and challenges you in your businesses now?
Not having control. Yeah, control.
Of your people or of
No,
the
just
situation?
because like certain things, like I know my speed. I know my speed. I know my speed. For example, I can come up with an idea 9 in the morning. I'll be making money by 6. But that's my speed. An idea from idea inception to reality would not take me more than a week.
Okay.
Usually.
Why is it that you choose the speed route rather than other people are more perfectionist, plan, strategy?
Perfection
take
is
your
not about
time?
insecurity. You're just insecure. You're scared. You have traumas. You're self-sabotaging yourself. Attack things fast. Yes, you might break things in a way, which is natural, but again, you can get it. Like I'd rather have 110 things I'm juggling in the air. I might drop 60 of them, but I'm still gonna have another, 60 or 70 working for me. Instead of just taking one ball and just doing one ball.
Right.
Just different approaches. Again, this is not for everybody.
Do you believe in the concept of burnout when you overwork
Of course,
yourself?
it does happen. It happened to me a bunch of times. But when it happens, okay, or as it happens, discharge, unplug. I love traveling, so I travel somewhere, be alone, be on the beach, be in the elements, be in earth again, just breathe, and it always comes to me again. I'll be back in 4, 5, 7 days, better and bigger.
Do you believe in, or do you do meditation yourself?
Yeah. Again, it's meditation. It's just like basically being aware, being conscious. Because again, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, I don't listen to specific music because the frequency of that is damage consciousness. I love to always walk around barefoot, like to discharge. I'm very hippie that way. So I have both extremes. I have this hippie spiritual part, but also I'm very luxurious and I love shiny stuff. 2 extremes.
You have the balance and the imbalance.
Yeah. Which is good. For me, it works.
If they were to write a book about your life and about you, what would the title be?
Interesting. I'm doing a book actually.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually doing a book right now.
About business or about just your life story?
It's more of mindset, mantras.
Like affirmations and these kind of
Yeah,
things?
like how do you, when this happened, how do you, when this thing happened, how do you,
Okay.
just like, in, out, in, outs.
Have you decided a name for this book?
Not yet.
Oh yeah.
There was like mantras of a man. It's like there was different things, but like there was no one title yet. Just don't have time to do it because I'm super dyslexic.
Yes.
So for me, it's like I gotta read this. What did I say?
It's probably the most challenging thing you could have thought of to do.
It's not the one for me. Yeah.
Actually, it reminded me, I wanted to ask this. So everybody has their advantages in life and disadvantages. Everyone has their unfair advantages. They were born in a certain family. They were born with technology. Everybody has something. But also everybody has their disadvantages in life. That's just how we are. But a lot of people will ascribe their identity and blame their situation on their disadvantages. Like, for example, I'm a person of color living in this country. Therefore, it's not the same opportunity for me. I'm a woman. I cannot compete in the workplace the same as a man. My age, my intelligence, this, that, and the other. Everybody has an excuse.
Yeah.
Whereas you're someone that is dyslexic and you have certain things that are not in your favor.
Yeah.
How have you interacted with these challenges that you have?
First thing, excuses. It's all excuses, man. When you're online, nobody knows who you are. When you have a service and you have a product, nobody knows what are you, who you are, what color you are, what gender you are, and all these nonsense things. So that's number one. My perspective was different. So when I was younger, oh, you're dyslexic, you're ADHD, you're not. I wasn't good in school. I barely graduated, barely. It was just hard for me, and I couldn't understand a lot of things. But later on, I understood. Oh wow, these are my superpowers. Being ADHD means I have hardcore, hyper focus. What I can do in that 2-3 hours, you can the things that I can learn so fast, you cannot do. So that it's a superpower. Me being dyslexic, it's like no, I see things that you cannot see. The patterns that I see, the
connections you make.
Yeah. Like for me, everything is like a universe, and everything connected together is like it's crazy. So for me, that's fun. So again, perspective is very important. How do you see yourself? You can look at this. Oh, it's a disadvantage. I'm in this bad government, and it's like you're all right. Whatever you say, you're right.
But it's excuses.
Yeah. Whatever you say is right.
Have you heard of that saying? It's something like, you cannot judge the value of a fish by how it climbs a tree, or something like this.
Yeah. I say you cannot judge a fish for not being able to fly.
Yeah, something like this.
Yeah.
Do you think, therefore, the schooling system, which is in a very boxed-off, fixed way, which is memorization, basically, and I have a very academic path. I'm a dentist by profession.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I mean, I don't practice anymore, but I did the 6 years.
You did? Nice.
And you have wonderful teeth, yes. But no, I played to that strength of memorization, but it got to a stage where I know I'm not good at exams. And I barely passed my university. I got there in the end, but it cost me a lot of energy, whereas others were breezing through.
Yes.
And that comparison at the time would put me down. Like, man, some people are studying 2 days before the exam. I'm doing 2-3 weeks before the exam, and they're getting better grades than me.
Yeah.
So at that time in school specifically, I'd feel like I'm not as fortunate as other people. I'm not as intelligent as other people. But you get older and you realize that, okay, you play to your strengths. You now? Alhamdulillah, yes.
That's it, full stop. Because that's the whole thing. Because the thing with me is schooling programs you do 3 different things wrong. That first of all, there's one way there's one answer for a problem. In reality, there's multiple ways. Or working with others called cheating. It's called collaboration. And if you do wrong, it's a mistake. Because now you want to be always right, which means it takes you back to the moment when you were trying to study. It's a very stressful moment. No, you cannot. You cannot do that. And that's the problem, that it makes you feel that, failing is a bad thing, lose marks. But if success is a door, so if the failure is a door, the key is called success. Sorry. If success is a door, the key is called failing. People are afraid to try because they're afraid to fail. And that's what happened. These people who were like the A students or 4.0 students, where are they now? They're employees. We will hire them to work for you. But always again, these students are going to be the bosses and the owners. Yeah. And the A students are going to be the PAs. And that's what happened in reality.
Do you think that the way that society is, as a population and a species, we have all kinds of people, and not everybody can be that upper success?
No.
And you cannot have wealthy without poverty, and that's the unfortunate reality. So in that sense, if you could have a hand in changing the schooling system, would you change anything?
Everything.
Yes.
All of it, actually.
What would you do?
All of it. But again, like you said, we call 1% for a reason. It's a 1%. It's not for everybody. Not everybody are able or capable to do what we do. Being an entrepreneur is very lonely, is very hard, is very challenging, is very, it tests you every single particle in your body. You gotta be good in everything. So it's not for everybody. That whole thing that's being entrepreneur has become thrown everywhere. It's a sexy word. You don't understand what it takes. When I became entrepreneur of the year, I knew I outwork everybody else. Because I didn't see anybody. I was like, who is these people? But that came from one thing, is I know the work that I put in. It's not easy. You're working 9 hours, 10 hours, you cry about it on the job. Guess what? We don't sleep sometimes. We leave office at 4 or 5 in the morning. And we continue at 8 in the morning again.
We don't have the luxury of just turning off.
Yeah, there's
I
no
go
off.
home and I'm still thinking about something.
Yeah, there's no off button. It's like, why should put it off? It's like, no, that's why you broke. Don't come to me with this broke mentality. Like again, the way we see things is not for everybody. And not everybody is there to be. We can't save everybody. We cannot. They're not ready to be saved. They're not ready to be unplugged. We try. But again, if you don't change from within, they can't change. Like I said earlier, I can show you step by step what to do. You won't do it. 90% of people will not do it.
Yeah. Do you believe it's true when they say that the first $100,000 is the hardest to make?
Yes, very hard. But see, again, what happens, the first 100 is one stage. The million is in a different stage. And then the 10 million is a different stage. And the 100 million is a different stage. But also the people that got to the first 100,000 are different people that get you to the million, are different than people that get you to 10 million. The team have changed dramatically. The knowledge you get. So again, you have to understand that some people are not lifetime. They're just seasonal. You can't just carry them. They were with me step 1. Yes, I know they were with you step 1, but they do not have what it takes to get to step 2.
Okay, so you mentioned the people that got you to the first 100K cannot be the people that get you to the 100 million.
Yeah.
Do you believe that, I haven't reached the 8-figure mark, do you believe that the vehicle to get from 0 to 100, the vehicle from 100 to a million, million to 10 million, do you think that business or vehicle can be the same? Or do you think you have to pivot to grow?
Pivot and scale. Pivot and scale. Both of them.
What advice would you give me in general in business to maximize the ability to scale? I feel like that's not a skill set I've acquired just yet.
For you, because now you where you do Forex?
Primarily, yes.
Okay,
Forex. I have
Forex.
other projects.
So how many clients do you have?
I mean, the client arm is something small because I don't believe anymore in courses. I don't believe anymore in selling.
Clients of people giving you money for you to trade.
Zero.
Why?
I get asked this a lot. And for myself, it was, I don't want to be liable and the headache of other people's money.
Why are you scared? Why are you doubting yourself and your abilities of being somebody who can multiply other things? Why are you scared? Why are you doubting yourself? Where is the source of that doubt? You should know, I got this shit. Why are you scared? That's the question. Why are you scared?
That's food for thought. Yes.
Again, okay, what's the volume you trade on right now? What's the number?
Say again?
What's the volume you're trading on now?
It's about $4 million.
Okay. What's the problem with you? Why are you doing 40? Why are you doing 400? You holding yourself back. You, nobody else. You're the person who's holding yourself back. There's nobody else holding you. So that's where you should do. So there's 2 things. Number 1, okay, start to believe. Number 1. Number 2, okay, have a team that you can trust enough with this thing, or have other peers that you think that they also can kick ass with you. And then the hard part, actually not hard, it's a very easy part, is getting the clients. Getting the clients. I have a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. He got in one move 10 clients, paid him around 150 million in one day.
And how did you manage that?
How you get that?
Yeah.
First, how you get that? Because it's not your everyday move to be able to get 10 clients to pay this much money. So what's the stunt you have to create, or what's the value you have to showcase for you to be able to do that? That's the fun part. That's the fun part. And it was a very simple thing he did. Like, he loves horses.
Okay.
He's into horses, and he got invited to a private horse auction.
Okay.
That's very hard. Guess who goes to these auctions?
Most likely royalty. Yeah.
No, people with money. People have so much money that are buying horses. Because again, you have so much money, you buy animals. Horses, falcons, and camels. These things are very, very expensive, and it's like a luxury. So people are going there, they are basically people with money.
Right.
He goes in, he comes in casual, everybody's, full like this, Condor, everything. Who is this guy? And then at the end of the day, he goes and bets on the horse and wins the horse and back horse for a while, spends a good chunk of money. When he walks out, everybody speaks to him. Who are you?
Yeah.
And I said, I do this. Oh, amazing. Will you do for me? I do for you. Done. So again.
So buying that horse was a cost of business.
Exactly. It cost him $300,000, but guess what? He made 100+ million. But
have you ever done anything like that?
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's that crazy thing. It's like putting yourself in places where the money is going to be.
Have you ever had in your career around you wanted to raise capital?
Yes, a couple of times. And I'm against that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm against. When people tell me when they just start a business and they're raising capital, for me, it's a very, very unbelievable thought. It's like you're raising money on an idea only. How are you going to prove that it works, doesn't work? And they come with a ridiculous amount of money, and then it doesn't work. And then what happened to the money? You go in the jail now. So I always say, you know what? Have the idea, create a beta, do some sales, give me some record. Because if you ask me, I have a new company open it, I'm going to take 80% of your company. You're going to be working for me now. You're not an entrepreneur anymore. You're just an employee.
Yep. Yep.
So why would you come in, ask for investor early? I don't have the money. You do not need the money.
You know, I used to have that exact thought, and it always used to blow my mind why people would go get investors when just get started and grow your business. But then I read it somewhere. It said basically, in life you always have debt. Now that can be financial debt. You gave away your equity and took investors. But if you don't do that, you will have skill debt, management debt, employee debt, because you are not able to afford the other things. So then that person said basically, instead of having a skill debt and all these inefficiencies in your business, rather take the financial debt so you can put it to avoid all the other debts. Is that something you've considered?
No, not really. You know, because again, you come with an idea, but I don't have money to create. Like, listen, you can just create an imaginary website. You know, I remember 3 years ago, two girls came to me, hey, we have this idea. The same idea, basically. They want to do an e-commerce website for what it was called, cosmetics, yeah. And they were asking for some money. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you come out and get some money before you even start? Mm-hmm. So it's gonna work. I was like, listen. I gave them the same advice. One told me you're an asshole. Fine, I'm an asshole. She went and got the money and then she got screwed. The other one, listen to it. I told her a simple thing: just create a social media website, put all this, 3D images, pictures, videos, wherever the products, put them there. And then sell, have an e-commerce website and sell them there. Mm-hmm. And from that, if you reach the minimum quantity from the factory, you just send the money to the factory. And then reply to every customer, hey, sorry for the delay. Here's a voucher, 20% discount for the next one, and here's a free gift. Mm-hmm. It costs nothing.
Yeah.
You know what? She had like 30 items, only 3 moved. From the 30 items that they told it gonna work, 3 moved. Imagine, and the other girl took $500,000 investment from a guy. She bought all the stock. She didn't do proper marketing, and then she was stuck with the stock, and now she's in legal issues. So again, just sell the minimum quantity, then get the number for the minimum quantity, sell that, you already have your profit from that, and then you can get some more. Now you know what's the market wanting, because just because you think this will work doesn't mean the market wants it.
True. Yeah.
So yeah.
You've thrown some questions at me to make me question my limiting beliefs.
Yes.
So I want to do the same to you.
Go ahead.
What is something that you know you should be doing that you are not doing currently?
Should be doing correctly? Maybe push more social media, but I just don't want to open the door yet.
And why is that?
Because it will need more attention and time from me, and I don't want to give it this in this stage, because there's certain things that I'm trying to scale, and that's a priority for me more.
Okay.
That's purely.
And why do you believe you should be putting more effort in the future into social media?
A personal brand, because it will bring a specific level of attention. Because I see my stories, I have 100,000 plus something people, so I can see people who's watching me, and sometimes a bunch of them are royalties or big people, and randomly I'll be having a phone call with them. Hey, and they tell me, I've been watching what you're doing. I love it. Keep doing that. So when somebody royal tell me, hey, you're doing good. Okay, I know I'm doing good. Yeah. When a big owner of other companies tell me, hey, I've seen your stuff. I love it. That's good. So I'm doing good there, but I know I can do more, but not yet. So I want to create more things, more belts under my belt. Just to say, hey, I just did another one. That's purely it.
Do you ever enter a business with the mindset of not just growing it and making a cash flow business, but you actually intentionally get into that business with the only intention to sell it one day for an exit?
Definitely. All of them.
Oh, yes.
All of them. This is why I try to create the ISO and have a lot of manuals and SOPs and other stuff for every business we do. Because this way you have a manual, you can move that and give it to somebody else and go from there.
Do you think that only applies to people at your latest stages in the career? Or would that be something that I should also be considering? Like non-cash flow businesses, more exit orientated? It
depends the business itself. But ultimately, a business is not making you enough money or it's not breaking even. Why are you doing it? It's just ludicrous. So you don't do it just because I want to do it. No. Why are you doing wrong? You always have to be accountable why you're doing wrong.
Is there a number for you that if somebody offered you to buy every business you own and have a complete cash exit, what would that number be? And if there is that number?
Don't have one.
You don't have one?
Don't have one. Because then what? sit on my ass on the beach. Yeah, I do this all the time anyways. It's like, then what? It's not, that's not the ultimate goal in life, no.
Fair enough.
But I think freedom is very important. That's why, I'll be working, non-stop for days. And if I just feel like, hey, I need to fly for a place for 3 weeks, I do that.
I saw for the last few days you were
Yeah.
in a nice resort living life. Yeah.
Just doing things,
Recharging.
Yeah, exactly. Just providing value to get other things.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm doing this, it's a step towards this, get me that. I understand nothing is straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta do these things for free to provide value. They understand what you can do, then you get that bigger goal.
Out of your various businesses, is there something right now that is particularly, you're really enjoying it and maybe a favorite?
I think always comes back to the main one, Aquafun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's more of a human touch to it.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to be in a space that you created in your head and you see the reaction. And then it's also a very good way to break ice with other people. Because these spaces will always have individuals. And it could be, a big CEO or a big minister, and he's with his family. And his kids are having fun because of me. So when he sees me, he understands, hey, you created this for me, so now I like you.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we have this very casual relationship. So anytime I want to meet him, I don't have to go through the normal lines of official lines. I just call him, hey, I'm coming to you. Because he knows me now, personally. So that's the most one that I like.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Is there something that you have in mind that you want to do specifically for the people around you, your close friends, your family, in line with your businesses, I mean? What I mean by that is, like, let's say you have a brother or a sister that you say, hey, here's a business for you, here's an opportunity for you, or maybe potentially trying to retire your friend, something like this.
I always say sometimes, because a lot of times people come to me, hey, just give me money. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that for you. You want, I can give you a job. Give you something to do with me. Let's grow together. For me, let's grow together instead of just giving you a handout. For me, I don't do handouts. I don't understand that. It's like, you're entitled to this shit. No, you want that, you got to work for it. And we give you something to work for and give it to you. By giving it to you, you won't learn nothing. But okay, come, work for me. Shadow me. Learn from me. I helped last year 31 guys to be millionaires.
Oh, no way.
And literally all of them took from me between 20 to 80 minutes.
Wow.
That's it. They sat down, 15 minutes, gave me the story, what they're doing. Immediately, you're doing this wrong, do this. Here's strategy.
Wow.
And when they follow it, it works. But the problem, people don't want to follow because they have the ego. It's like, no, I know better. Sure, stay broke.
Do you currently have any children?
I can have 4 wives. I can have 16 kids. It's private.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The reason I ask that is because if you do or don't, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you have any children or one day do, what kind of values would you instill in them?
Okay. I think by the age of, maybe 9 or 11, we open a company together.
Okay.
That's how they're going to learn life.
Whilst at school or?
Yeah.
Okay.
They will never do university, high school maybe, but by the age of 10, between 9 and 11, we open a company together. It's going to be a mix of their name, my name together and do it together. Teach them how to do sales, how money works. They have the budget. They have the money from the company. They sign from the company, all that stuff.
Would you give them a good life in terms of buy them nice things? And
that will always be, it depends if it's a girl or a boy, because it's different treatment for this, different treatment for this. But ultimately, they need to understand the value of things. If I give them a very I won't give them a stressful life, but I give them a challenging life enough for them to understand what it takes to be this and that. That's it. Because life would be stressful anyways. So why should I add stress to it? No. Give them the love that they need and the security and empower them as individuals, but ultimately give them challenges for them to become better.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I like to always end the episode with some fun, light-hearted questions that are just quick fire.
Go ahead.
So number one I have is, if you had a time machine, would you rather go back in time and maybe change something, or would you rather go to the future and see how things are and live in the future?
Maybe go back. Yeah, back.
Why is that?
Yeah, it's more fun that way.
Relive some memories or change some things?
No, change, no. Never change anything.
Relive some moments,
Yeah.
okay. If you could have any superpower, what superpower would you pick?
Ooh, that's a good one. Superpowers. What should I do?
My one would be the ability to pause time, manipulate around time. I think flying is a boring one.
That's nothing.
We can do that
That's
already.
childish.
But time traveling is a cool one, I think.
I think it's a very good one, actually. Time traveling is a very cool one because you get to see things before it happen. Gives you the unfair advantage.
Yeah, have you seen that movie, The Click or Click?
Yeah,
Like this?
yeah.
Someone pisses him off, he pauses down, give him a slap,
Yeah.
play.
I do this all the time to people anyway. I slap them. No, I don't.
Yeah, and lastly was if you could have a dinner with someone, maybe dead or alive, who would you choose?
Prophet Muhammad.
I think that's the only right answer.
There you go.
There you go. Brother, thank you very much for your time. I
You're
really
welcome.
enjoyed having you on and having this conversation. I'm
Amazing.
actually learning a lot myself.
Good.
Because that was the
Push.
intention behind the show.
Push
it was
more.
actually,
You're not pushing, man.
push some tough questions.
No, push. First, you've been too easy with me.
Yeah.
You've been too easy.
Okay, that's why I wanted some secret insight. Like, what's the question I can really challenge
Yeah,
him with?
whatever. Ask, man. Now she won't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Go on. Again, you have me for another some minutes. So
Okay.
go deeper.
Okay, in that case.
Yeah.
What is something in your past that you maybe hold some trauma on that is being a limiting belief for you? Because everybody has them.
I don't have that.
Really?
Because there was a phase, I think 11, 12 years ago, I had a slip disc and I was unable to move for 41 days.
In your spine?
Yeah, in spine. So from here down, there was no movement.
Wow.
So 41 days, I'm in bed. So when you're in bed, what do you gotta do? You gotta be in your head. So when your head was gonna happen, you're gonna face every single demon, everything.
Right.
So that's why I am in so much peace because I faced all these things in my head that I was running away all my life from. So I dealt with them all and I accepted them all. So that was a very, very scary because I was 13, I had to learn how to walk again. So that was like, and being able to do that, that was okay, now I know, okay, if I manage to do that now, then okay, nothing can stop me. Yeah.
I saw a video and they had one phrase in that which I found particularly powerful. For certain people that may be not a powerful moment, but there's certain things for everyone that you really resonate
Of course.
with. And the one for me was that somebody said, everybody questions their beliefs, but they don't question the beliefs that they should be questioning. Because those are the ones that you should really question. Do you have anything like that in your life? We all believe our worldviews and we always challenge our worldviews in politics and things, or whatever, but we never question the ones that we should truly question. Do you have anything for you?
I think our job is to believe and then God gives you. The problem is that we have no belief anymore. Like you don't have faith in anything, you don't believe in things. Because again, you attract, we are nothing but vibrations and energies. You attract what you vibrate. So your thoughts becomes, your words becomes your thoughts and thoughts becomes emotion becomes vibration and goes to the universe, it comes back to you. So you have to control, for me, like when you control what you say and you control where you, it's like your words, your thoughts and where you are. These are three things you have to control. Because when you control your thoughts, then you control your words. This controls. When you control what thoughts you consume in your head, and where do you go? Because like you cannot be in like I don't sit somewhere that I know I'm the smartest person. I don't sit in a place that the conversation is negative, or gossipy, or not productive. For me, it's like, are we learning? Are we growing? Are we evolving? Are we making money? If it's not one of those four things, I'm not gonna spend a minute there. So for me, these are the things that for me, I'm very, very, very particular about.
You protect your energy. You protect what you consume.
So much before, like you won't imagine. Like I don't care, like who you are, what you are. You're off. You're off.
In my life, I've lived in a few countries. I'm from London, the UK originally. Then I did my dentistry in Madrid. And then after I graduated, I didn't want to be a dentist. So I thought I can live anywhere because I work from my home. So I always tell people I came to Dubai, to your country, initially for the tax savings, but I stayed for the city. I stayed for the people. I stayed for the opportunity. And for me, Dubai has become a lot more. First of all, I want to ask, do you travel a lot?
I've been to 99 countries.
Oh, yeah, you've traveled a huge amount.
I love traveling. Yeah, it's my favorite thing in life.
The reason I ask is, in that case, you probably definitely have gone to the West.
Of course.
Another primary driver for me to come to this part of the world, even though I'm from the West, is when I was living in the UK, I felt like it was a bubble where everybody in the UK thinks we are the best country, we are the best people, we're super patriotic.
You're not.
Yes, and when I left and I moved to Madrid, I realized the people here are better, the weather is better, the energy is better, and the UK wasn't everything it made out to be.
No.
And now that I've researched a lot and understood more about life, I've realized that I think the West is on a huge decline.
No, it already
And
declined.
there's for certain views I have. For example, I think this good, comfortable, social media life creates complacency, creates lazy people, creates entitlement, and all these things, and that's what destroys an empire. And that's one of the reasons I came to this part of the world. Do you have any particular views on the West?
So many. Like for me, it's like there are some countries I stopped going to. Like London is my least favorite city in the world. London, Miami, New York, these cities, I don't like them at all. It's like, what? It's like, listen, if you don't understand what happens there and the energy behind it, if you just go there because you enjoy, I'm on the beach in my bikini, all this stuff, and okay, you just lost your whole life purpose. There's no God in these spaces, and they push specific agendas that are not. Like, I'm very happy that we're here. Like, if I have children in this part of the world, like, never take them anywhere in Europe, because like the indoctrination they put in, the normalization of certain things is like, that's not right at all. It's against every human belief in normality.
Did you take when he was in Dubai?
Yeah, a bunch of times. Yeah.
What is your views and experiences with him?
Just awesome guy to be around. Very smart. Very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? Very introvert, but very nice. Very, very smart. He's the opposite of Tristan, exactly, and it works. I love their relation very well. They're very awesome, different individuals. Again, you can't judge a man for a word, and not for the actions. And again, he's a changed man. So you can't. Again, I always tell people, like, when they say I don't agree with his thoughts, it's okay, fine. When it comes to you as a person, you don't agree with your own thoughts a year ago or 2 years ago. So how could you judge a person who changed dramatically over and over again?
That's very true.
So again, he speaks differently. His messaging is very profound for a lot of people, and it works.
I didn't get a chance to meet Tristan, but I did briefly meet Andrew, and that's the same thing I noticed, that he's very loud and bravado and all of this online, but in person he was actually
chilled.
Didn't say much, and he was just very observant, very respectful, and and that's how he carried himself. Do you think the things that have been happening to him now in Romania?
Yeah.
What is your view on that?
So many views on that. Again, they had to figure out a way to disown them, because that's how you're gonna make him. It's always funny when any news comes about him. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. Person, and just like have this big title. It's just like you shove ideas of people's thoughts. It's like, what are you doing? When people are like, I hate him. It's like, why do you hate him? Yeah. You just ask people. It's like they never seen anything above.
Because the way he says certain things, intentionally to be pretty abrasive,
have to be.
They get upset at what the feeling they get from what he's saying, rather than what is he actually saying. And I think that's the core. There's a lot of views I agree with him, actually majority, but the one side that didn't make sense to me completely was everything he's saying about women, and I'm not a believer of like dating around and all of this kind of stuff. So
that's the before person.
Before the religious change.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, okay, how old are you now?
I'm 27.
27. Are you the same person you were when you were 17?
Absolutely not. Yeah,
exactly.
Not.
So again, a lot of things have changed. So again, we cannot, when he's working hard on himself to change and learn and educate and evolve and adapt, that's what we should look at. We have to be more, since it's funny how we accept diversity with colors and shapes and sizes, but we can't have diversity in thoughts. Yeah. And if we have a different thought about anybody else, okay, we're against that. You're cancelled. It's like, because I have a thought different than your thought. We're not all sheep together.
I don't look too much into politics, purely because I think it drains my energy and it's out of my control. So I don't look too much into politics, but I do believe it's important to be aware of trends and how the world is moving. Yeah. And I'm seeing a major trend of how China and Russia are forming the alliance, and now stockpiling gold for the BRICS currency that is going to come. That's going to be a gold back. And now how the US is losing its dominance, especially with the petrodollar coming to a decline. And I think the superpower is going to start to shift to this side of the world and towards China and Russia. Yeah. Is there anything? First of all, are you in agreement? And second of all, is there anything you are doing with that in mind, with your businesses or certain investments that you're doing?
If we look at every scripture happened, none of them describes it as a superpower from the West. None of them. It's all going to be here, this part of the world. That's one. Yes, it's a very powerful move happening there. I've been aware about it since the last 2 years. My move towards that is I just purely invest hardcore in actual commodities, So silver and gold and platinum, I buy a lot of that every month. Just stock them because I understand that's...
You buy physical gold?
Yeah, actual physical gold.
Okay.
Yeah. For gold, platinum, and silver, both, or all three.
Okay.
That's my move towards that. And I invest mainly in this part of the world. So I have no investments in Europe or America or that part of the world at all. Zero.
What percentage of your portfolio is in commodities, specifically the metals?
It changes.
Okay.
It changes. Because again, portfolio is big and it always changes. So sometimes I'll be moving a lot of things towards a specific opportunity that we know about. We do the opportunity and move it back in. So I know there's a specific thing happening in stock or currency or crypto. Okay, I know that move's happening soon. Okay, let's move, 30%, 20% from this to this. Get that pump, take it back, convert it into real estate or commodities and move around.
Between the various asset classes, which there are so many,
Yes.
from watches to art to crypto to property, whatever.
Yeah.
Which ones are you interested and involved in, and how have you distributed the percentage allocation?
Again, it's not flat. It always
You play the bull run and move it around.
It's always moving. Because sometimes I know gold is coming down. Okay, let's buy some more. I know it's coming up. We just got 15%, 20%. Okay, fine. Liquidate that. Move it to this one because we know this is happening. So it's always moving. It's not flat.
This takes a huge level of expertise and time and attention to study everything and how they're all interacting. I was going to ask, how are you managing
I have people who does it to me.
Is that with the institution or is people you've hired or is it a family office?
Both.
Okay.
Actually, all three. Like again, I believe your network is your net worth. So I always like to have people much, much smarter, powerful, richer than me, and I learn from them.
Would you rather invest in these assets or would you rather invest in businesses?
Assets. Assets for sure, because historically we know we can control that.
Do you think more of your income now comes from the assets or from your active businesses?
Cash flow, businesses, asset. Because again, I get this to this and I leave it.
The assets of appreciation.
Yeah, I leave them. I don't touch them.
Okay.
Like I buy and forget about them. I don't even touch them.
Is your goal to one day transition the cash flow of the business into assets to generate this passive income, or
yes,
what is the end goal?
Yeah, that's the goal. I'm inclined too much towards real estate. A lot.
Okay. And you're only investing in this part of the world?
Yes.
Okay, this is another thought I've had. The Dubai market is booming right now.
It will not stop.
And for example, in our area, JBR, the prices have increased just since September to now, like 40%. And in areas like District 1, I've heard villas doubling in price in 3-4 months. Unheard of.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's unsustainable. And the reason I think that is because Dubai is now reaching a level where it's competing with Beverly Hills, it's competing with Knightsbridge.
It passed already.
And it's not going to double that because who's going to sustain that? Do you think Dubai, therefore, is going to have a property plateau or maybe even a healthy retracement?
Because by 2030, they want to double the population, which means also they're doubling also the green area, the beach areas, the properties. So the vision is always there, and Dubai historically have showed that they are always on point with these things. So that's powerful. Like they just launched the whole new
the new Palm.
The Palm Jabal now is relaunched again. And again, all the area from that down where the expo is going to be the new front line. Like all the land's been distributed by the government for locals are all that part of town. So they're moving people there now.
Are you a very patriotic person of your country and city?
I would say yes. And that comes in because I've seen so much around the world and I know the difference. Like, so I've seen the difference. Like there's nothing compared to this. I tried to see somewhere else. I couldn't find anything else.
Yeah. For people that have misconceptions of this part of the world, of Dubai, and various opinions, because I've seen the YouTube videos, what would you say to defend your country to the people that are uninformed?
Don't watch the media. Just come and see it. I guarantee you within a week when I move in. That's what happened to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny saying that most people that I meet say is like, I came on a vacation and then, I didn't take my return flight.
I've never seen somebody from America who came here who within the first 3-4 days, they not go say, hey, how can I move in? But they can't because they're worried about the taxes.
That's the main reason.
That's it. They can't move.
You know, when I go back to London, and I will during August to see my family, I guess so you get used to living here and the small things. And then I think, wait, so no one's going to come and deliver this? Or no one's going to come to fill the car? Like,
exactly,
what?
These small things.
Why are you still living in the Stone Age? Yeah, small conveniences here. But I think as entrepreneurs, it is our duty to anybody who pays tax taxes are voting rights. And if you continue to evade tax in the West, it means you align with everything they're saying and you agree with how they're spending your taxation dollars.
Yes.
Now we come to this part of the world, they don't even really ask for tax. But, come and spend in the country, come and spend in the local economy, because if you believe that they're doing the right things, the vision orientation, that's one belief I have. Another one is I think you have to follow the opportunity. And, previously there was the American dream, you had the American boom and all of that. And that birthed so many millionaires. But I think that opportunity has ceased to become as lucrative. I think this part of the world, specifically I'm looking at what Saudi is doing at least.
Yeah.
I think this part of the world is going to have that same boom and birth an equivalent amount of
Absolutely.
of wealth.
I think Saudi Arabia will create another million billionaires.
Billionaires?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Because again, imagine, like, you see how Dubai is established. They are still 20 years away from us. No matter how much money they put in, they don't have the infrastructure yet. So that's another 15, 20 years behind, which means we can come in and install all the things we don't have. That's the powerful thing. So this part of the world, like UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt, that's where the money is going to be. Don't go anywhere else.
Yeah. What do you think this part of the world would do to maintain its dominance when the oil reserves do dry up?
They do it. Like Dubai, we have no oil.
Yep.
We make all the money from trade, export, and tourism. That's it. Even though we have no mountains or no rivers or no greenery.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. It works. It works. They're very smart here.
Yeah. This part of the world continues to fascinate me, and now my job is basically to tell my mom and dad, to my brothers, I'm just convincing them, like, come to this part of the world. They love it for a vacation, but
make more money.
Yeah.
Full stop. That's it.
That's the
Make
goal.
more money. Make more money. Provide this. They will move. They will understand. They do it.
Yeah. My goal, at least at a minimum, is I don't want to raise my kids in the West. When it comes to
No, you don't. You don't do that.
There's so many things I disagree with that I think they have to be here as a matter of urgency.
Yeah.
Brother, thank you very much. I think we just got the warning for time up.
Okay.
And, thank you very much for being generous with your time and the opportunity. And as I said before, I've learned a lot just by sitting with you. And as you said, you've helped so many people, excel in their career just by taking a small amount of your time.
Yes.
I do hope that, the same will be for me. And I'll check in with you soon and tell you what I've been doing and how the progress I've been making. There we go.
Good.
Thank you very much, brother, for your time.
Of course. You're welcome, brother.